For our first project, we are going to use, from my previous video, the Christmas frame. I swapped it out for a thrift store frame that has the beaded trim on it, and I'm spray painting it metallic silver from Rust-Oleum. And then we're just going to put this free printable that I'll have linked below back in. The silver this year for 2026 is very popular for Ralph Lauren. And here's how I styled it on my bookcase. For project number 2, we are going to do this glass candle holder. What I did is I got a Dollar Tree mirror, make sure it has the smooth sides, and some Dollar Tree glass beads. Using E6000, we're going to glue 18 beads all the way around the mirror. Now, as I was gluing these, they tried and tend to slide off, so you want maybe put a little dab of hot glue on each one to help immediate bond. But once you get your first row done, you want to get something heavy and place it on the beads to make sure that they don't slide off, and let that dry for about 24 hours. Go in with your second row. You want to glue a second row of beads all the way around. And here's what it looks like styled on my bookshelf. Grandin Road sells this beautiful gold gilded mirror, and I looked for thrift stores to find a big mirror but couldn't find it, so we're going to dupe it in a smaller size, but if you have a bigger mirror, please feel free to do it. So we just got the largest mirror from the Dollar Tree and we're disassembling it, and I originally was going to do this with spoons, but I didn't like how it turned out, so you'll see what I do next. So we're just disassembling the mirror. And then I spray painted the frame with Dollar General gold spray paint. And then I got some leaves from some silk flowers that look more like the leaves on the mirror. And then I'm just cutting each one individually, and I'm gluing them at the end, and I'm pinching it together so that the leaf kind of puckers up. And then up next we are just going to layer the leaves. The inner side leaf is going to overlap the outer side of the leaf. And you want to do that all the way around, leaving space in the bottom middle and the top middle. And you'll see what I'm talking about here in a minute. And the reason why the frame looks uneven with the paint is because I glued down spoons to it and then I took them off, but it'll all be covered up. And this is what it looks like when both of your sides are done. Then you want to get that gold spray paint and spray paint the leaves in the frame once again. Now in the picture, they have a flower at the bottom, so I found a floral daisy and some baby's breath. I spray painted those gold as well. And then I'm just hot gluing that on at the bottom. And then you want to glue the gold baby's breath up top. And then up next, you just want to put your mirror back together, putting the mirror part back in, and then screwing the back plate on. My mirror didn't line up perfectly center, so I had to take off the hanger and re-glue it down so it was perfectly center. And here's how I styled it on my shelf. For 2026, horses are going to be majorly on trend, and horse statues are majorly on trend, so I got these from Goodwill, 2 of them. And I got this one, and I'm going to spray paint it gold with that Dollar General gold spray paint once again. You just want to cover the entire horse. And once that's dried, you want to go in with any acrylic paint, apple barrel, just a black paint. And what we're doing is just putting it all over the horse and then we're rubbing it in. You want to make sure the extra detail, you want to make sure it's darker around the mane, the face, and the tail. And just keep rubbing it in. It gives it that aged look. Now I didn't have a piece of wood long enough for the horse, so I just got 2 pieces of Dollar Tree wood, wood glued them together, and then I used some wood putty to seal off that seam. Then with Folk Art Coffee Bean and Apple Barrel Crimson Red paint, what I did is I just mixed them together, painted them all over, let them sit for a couple minutes. Don't let them dry, but just let them sit for even a couple seconds. And let that wood soak in that color. I don't like using stain because I don't like the smell of it. And then just go ahead and wipe it off. And it's going to look like this nice cherry wood. And off camera, I used some glossy Mod Podge on it as well. Then what you want to do is just get some E6000 and glue your horse down to the base. And here's what it looks like styled on my bookshelf. Next project, we are going to use a decorative napkin, and what we're going to do is separate the layers. The easiest way to do that is we're going to get a piece of tape, lay it down on one of the corners, and separate the layers so it's just a one-ply napkin. And you want to get a battery-operated candle that has a wax outer coating. I initially tried to use a hairdryer for this project, but it did not work. A heat gun may work. It has to get hot enough to melt the wax. So what we're doing is just wrapping it around the candle, leaving a little excess on the top and bottom. And I'm getting an iron and I'm turning it on number 4 with no steam. And we're just overlapping it a little bit in the back. I would use Scotch tape instead of masking tape because it blends in better and you don't even have to take it off. Then you want to get some parchment paper and roll it around there. And with your iron, you just want to go in one direction and quick movements on it. If you lay that iron on it too long, it's going to melt all the wax. So just do short, quick movements. And what we're doing is we're melting the napkin to the candle. You want to be sure that your candle and the background of your decorative napkin are the same color so it just blends in seamlessly into the candle. You just want to go all the way around the candle until it's all melted in. Once the napkin's completely melted all the way around, you can get a razor knife and trim off the excess around the top. Or you can also, I used a razor knife and I used a pair of scissors just to get the cleanest look that you can get. And if you want to make it blend in even more, you can put that parchment paper around the top and iron a little bit of it so it melts right into the candle as well. And you can go ahead and repeat this step on the bottom as well. And this is what it looks like when it's done. It gives a very high-end look to a just a plain white candle. I styled this candle earlier with that glass candle holder that I made previously. Ralph Lauren has this beautiful hurricane vase, and I wanted to recreate it with Dollar Tree items. So I got one of Dollar Tree's hurricane candles. I got some bamboo skewers and a cardboard gift box from the Dollar Tree as well. I keep all my gift boxes from Christmas. And then what you want to do is you want to trim around that bottom lip that you see. I'll show you closer up. You want to keep that bottom lip on there. And what we're doing is we're cutting it out to make a band at the bottom of this hurricane candle. And you just want to dry fit it to make sure it's going to fit around your candle. Make sure that lip part is facing down. And what we're doing is we're taping it around loosely because we want to make sure those 4 bamboo skewers can fit into that wood band. You want to put them in the point side down, and then you want to tape them to make sure they're all going to fit in that band. And now that we're sure that they all fit, then we're just going to remove them. You also want to mark on that wood band where you taped it so that once it's painted, you can go back in and it'll have the perfect fit. I also got a jar that's a little bit larger than the candle, and I got one that's smaller than the candle because we're going to have to put a top piece on this. And I'll give you the measurements here in a minute. I also put a slit in the center so it's easier to cut out. From that slit, you just want to cut out the center as well. Mine's not perfect. It's okay if it's not. So the outer edge is 3.5 inches of that circle, and the inner part is that measurement right there. I also got 4 plastic beads. We're going to spray paint all of that, this metallic silver from Rust-Oleum. Once it's painted, you want to hot glue it and glue it where you marked. And then I'm cutting those 4 little beads. Lost a few there. With E6000, we are going to glue the point of the bamboo skewer and the top. And make sure the point is going down into that band. Once you start gluing them around, you want to tape them to the candle so that they don't fall off. And with E6000, the best thing to do is let it dry for 24 hours. I didn't measure where the bamboo skewers went, I just eyeballed it. And to open up that band, it's a fondant tool. Actually, it has like a needle tip, and it just opened up the band so you could put the bamboo skewers down in there. I tried hot glue with this project and it did not work, so you're going to have to use a stronger glue, whichever glue that you think works, but E6000 is always the best. It glues almost anything. And then once I got them to where I wanted them, I trimmed them off flush to the top of that candle holder. And then I got some more E6000, put it on the top. And then I'm going to get something heavy to weigh it down to make sure it stays in place. Once that's dry, I got the little silver beads, and I pushed on that cardboard to see the wood skewer below, and I'm putting them on top of where each of the wood dowels are, or the bamboo skewers are. So it looks like they're poking through, and that's a little knob. And I used E6000 once again. And here's the completed Ralph Lauren dupe hurricane vase. And as always, to support my channel, hit like, subscribe, comment, and hit that notification bell to be one of the first people to receive notifications of a new video. If you try this, let me know. Let me know how it turns out. I hope I've inspired you to create a new craft that you've never done before. And decorating your house on trend does not have to be expensive. You can do it very cheaply. Just kind of jump in there and do it. Thank you.